Man, the marketing for this movie sold me on a very different film. Hey there, Internet Best Buddies. Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm Ray, and today we're going to be discussing A Winter's Tale. By the by, I'm a little sick today. Sorry. Colin Farrell plays a crook in the early 20th century of New York City, and he's on the run from his recently betrayed boss, Russell Crowe. He runs into a magic horse that saves him from Russell Crowe's gang, and brings him to a house for one last score before they ditch the city to try and lie low for a little while. In this house, he meets Jessica Brown Findlay's character, and the two romantically fall in love. Findlay's character is terminally ill with some sort of fever, and through some weird prophecy, Russell Crowe realizes that Colin Farrell is going to use his one miracle in order to save this girl. Russell Crowe really doesn't want this to happen because he's a demon of sorts, and he doesn't want the scales of the universe to be tipped in the favor of good. Yeah, it's a very odd film. Let's start with the good things, because there's a couple good things in here that I actually really enjoyed. You have really good performances from the whole cast for the most part. Russell Crowe's a little over the top, but not too much. And there's a really cool cameo by a really famous actor, which I really liked in the movie. The love story between Colin Farrell and Jessica Brown Findlay is the best part about this movie. I was completely wrapped up in the story, and they had absolutely fantastic chemistry. It was a really great love story to watch. The film also has some genuinely touching moments, which are, for the most part, in the past story, but then there's also a time where we go to modern day, and there's a few moments in there that are really good as well. The story in the early 20th century is the best part about this movie. It is the most cohesive story plotline throughout the film, and I was really upset when we got away from that. That being said, once we get into the modern day, which is 30 minutes before this almost 2-hour film ends, the whole story just falls apart. And it makes absolutely no sense, and you really have to suspend your disbelief greatly in order to understand and appreciate what's going on. The film as a whole does a really poor job of world building and explanation of certain elements which are crucial to the plot of the film. It gets to a point where not a lot of the movie makes sense at all. When you see the trailer, you imagine that a lot of the story is going to take place in the present day, and then Colin Farrell's going to have memory flashbacks. That's not the case. They show a small scene in the present, and then they show a scene when Colin Farrell's a baby, and then they do the whole past story, which is the majority of the film, and that is the best part of the movie. That whole past story is really good. And then they do 30 minutes of the present day, and it's terrible. The movie's fairly long for the story it's trying to tell, and there's a lot of wasted moments in the film. Honestly, if it wasn't for the chemistry and the fantastic love story between the two main characters, this movie would get a much lower score than I'm actually giving it. A Winter's Tale gets a 5 out of 10. So leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite love story is in a movie. I consider myself somewhat of a romantic at heart and love a great love story, probably because I've never experienced one. Don't tell Amanda, she'll beat me. If you haven't already, go down and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the content that I put out. Thanks again for watching, everybody. See ya.